is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Have a quick one for you today. We're going to learn another Green Day. We just did one a few lessons ago, but everybody seems to like it. So we're going to do one off just the song right beside it on the same album. So we're going to learn how to do Longview, and this really only has a couple of sections. We're only using a few different chords, power chords really, and then we have that little outro, kind of a double stop thing going on. So this won't take too long. Before we get into it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the little notification bell so you know when I release a new video. And check out my Guitar Academy. Link is in the description. It's got all my guitar courses. Really helps me. If you like what I do here on YouTube, please check it out. It helps me keep this going. And you also get to check out all my guitar courses, real systematic, covering many, many different topics. So hopefully you'll come check it out. I am tuned down a half step, just like the album here. So we're in E flat tuning. So there's going to be, I'll put the notes in the description, but we have an E flat for the low E, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. So just every string down a half step. All right, so let's start here. We have a lot of bass guitar in this one. Boo. Anyway, but when we come in, it really rocks. So we have this D chord, and like I mention all the time when I mention when I do Green Day stuff, Billie Joe really has a kind of consistent way of how he plays chords. His power chords off the A string are usually a full major chord. It becomes a full major chord a lot of time. So it's basically because he's using his pinky to bar the notes. So he'll play like this opening chord here that happens right before the chorus. We have this 5th fret on the A string, and then 7th fret on the D, G, and the B. So that's a full D major chord. We can just do it as a power chord if you don't hit the note on the B string, but usually he uses such a wide stroke that he's getting the B string in there as well. So that's kind of like his sound. Like when he's on the 5th string, it's usually not a power chord, it's usually a full major chord. So when we start out like that, but then he plays just his power chord shape like normal off the low E string. So we have this opening chord. So that right there, as we come to the 7th fret off the low E string. So we play the normal power chord there. So it's the 7th fret on the low E, 9th fret on the A and the D. So you want to play those, the normal power chord, but you also want to keep this finger barred behind it. Because what he's doing is he plays the normal power chord, then he's going to lift up those notes on the 5th string and the D string, the 5th and the A and the D string. So we have now the 7th fret across all 3 of those strings. So it is. Doesn't sound that great slow, but fast it really gives that kind of swing. Kind of a Kiss feel. And then the same thing down to the 5th fret. That's what it is. So when he gets to this E chord, it's just kind of that straight major chord, just like we did at the 5th fret, but it's at the 7th. He doesn't do that there since he's using it with his pinky. So he keeps the feel going though. So we have this. All right, so what happened there is that last time I played that A power chord, we kind of held it a little bit longer. And then that means, so when we get back to the E chord, it's right on the first beat of the measure. So it is. So I kind of held that a little bit longer. I kind of just strummed it. I wasn't doing a lot of that stuff on. And then you go back to E and just hit it once and just kind of let it ring. You can slide down off of it. All right, so in the bridge, we also have a bridge section where we're just kind of doing between the E chord and the D chord. All right, so that was just gonna go in between that E chord and the D chord that we've already played. Remember, E chord, you can have that low E open, and then when you play the D, you're gonna have to mute that, usually with the tip of your index finger. And then back to the chorus. You do hear later in the track when he plays this, that little lead-in chord. It's twice as long. So all right, so then we have the bass at the very end here. We have these little outro licks, which are pretty consistent too. Let's say this. All right, so that is going to be 9th fret on the G and the B together first. And then you're going to hammer on the 10th fret there on the B. Then go back to the 2 9s, just 9 on the G and the B. And then move that down to the 7th fret on the G and the B. Let that ring, and you kind of slide down off of it. So this. And then back to the same thing we did at the beginning. That'll pick the 2 9s, hammer on 10, and then you're gonna play 9 and 12, 9 on the G, 12 on the B. But when you play that 12 on the B, see if you can bar your pinky or do it like this. But you're gonna pick the 9 on the G, 12 on the B together first, and then that 12th fret on the high E. So with this. All together. Now he does have a little variation there. One time he goes, he picks the G string, then the B, then hammers on. You know, so that could be in there too, or you can just kind of do it consistent. All right, and that is about it. So it's a pretty simple one, just a couple of riffs, but still, they made a great song out of it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.